Hey guys, welcome back to Use Case Programming channel. My name is Tabish Ahmed, and we were basically in the last two videos we were discussing on how can we do the basic programming in C Sharp. So in the first video we have discussed on scenario one where we learned how can we take the input and output. In scenario two we discussed about the shuffling or a swapping onto the string variable like location of two employees, how to shuffle it like that. And in the scenario three, we also went through the how can we calculate the gross salary. We saw some sort of data types like double and uh, uh, the string and all. In this video, we will discuss on sometimes this is the interview question like what are the techniques we can have for number swapping. So basically, as of now, I can see I found like there would be at least these are the four ways using third variable, using plus and minus operator or star or multiplication and division operator and using XOR gate. So let's start with to implement all these techniques in C Sharp for using two numbers. So I do have Visual Studio and we were working on to this project. In the first video, you will come to know how we have created. This is the entry point method where we will write the code. Okay, so let's start with the first technique where we will use the third variable. So using third variable, um, so let's say we are having a number 1 where I'm writing 1 and number 2 as let's say 3. Then we will say okay, console.writeLine before swapping what are the number 1 and number 2. So console.writeLine dollar and then num1 value is num1 and num2 value is num2. All right. Now, using third variable, we have to introduce a temporary variable where we can copy the num1. So numTemp will have the value here as 1. Now in num1 we will copy value from num2. So now num2 will have value 3. Num1 will have the value 3 and num2 also. Now num2 should be overridden from temp. And now we can just print the number again after swapping and we can see what is the output. So after swapping, let's see the output F5 or just start. So we can see here num1 is 1 and num2 is 3 before swapping, and after swapping num1 becomes 3 and num2 becomes 4. So that is the first technique. Now move on to the plus and using without using third variable. One of the technique is using plus and minus. So what you can do is, so just comment out these four lines, uh, control KC and copy this because we need it in below, control V, cut it here, paste it here, and now implement the logic. So the logic is like num1 should add with the num2 and then write num2 equals to num1 minus num2, num1 equals again write num1 minus num2 and just see what is the output. So here we can see here 1 plus 3 becomes 4. Here 1 4, num1 is 4 now, so 4 minus 3 is 1, so num2 becomes 1, and 4 minus num1 is 4, num2 is 1, 4 minus 1 becomes 3. So that's working fine. So let's run it and prove it. Yeah, that's working fine. Enter. So now move on to these using multiplication and division. So what you ought to do is like you just copy all these things, Control K C, Control C, Control V, and remove this, and just use multiplication. So here you will have 3, and now here you can write this, and here you can write this, and you can just check now F5. So we can see again it's working fine. And this is using star and division. Now using XOR gate, you can perform. So just paste it, comment it out, and write it here XOR gate. So XOR sign in C# is by this. So now you can check it out. So yeah, it's working fine. So here you learned how you can swap the two numbers by using these techniques. Of course, in most of the interview, especially for freshers, this is very important program. I hope you like this video. If it makes sense to you, if it added value in your knowledge, please share, subscribe, and like this video. We will meet in the next video. Thank you.